Oh man, we are back to the coolest channel on YouTube. Look, been taking a little bit of time away. I got some news for you guys, man. Bow! I have a son on the way, y'all. I have a son on the way. Look at the head. Look at the head. Yup, that's all me right there. Look, man, I just been trying to get everything situated for my son to get here. He'll be here in a few months. And man, life has been full of ups and downs, you know. It's not all good, not all bad. I just been cool. I've been coasting in life. Let me know how y'all been in the comments down below, you know. But look, we back on board with this. This is not the only thing that I do as far as, like, you know, building businesses and stuff like that. So, you know, do excuse me when I do step away, because, you know, I am a father and I do need to parent my children. So, you know, I like to give them my attention, you know. So yeah, we back at it, man. I appreciate y'all for locking in, tuning in. Shout out to all my people that take care of your kids and love your family, is always building for your family. But look, man, we got an amazing video for y'all here today. Go ahead, smash that like button. Let's get this thing to like 20,000 likes. We ain't did this in a little bit, but I'm happy to be back and I appreciate y'all. And just know, if you're going through a tough time in life, just know you ain't going through it by yourself. We're going through this thing called life together. Let's get it.
Sir, when our base got hit very hard, what do we do now?
Well, let's just put it this way. They got the message.
If none of y'all have seen this video right here with Terrence Howard and this, I guess, medium or a divine declaration disclosure from on high. We heard this last night on my live. A gentleman came on and was very irate at stars. And he wanted us to get into contact with Terrence Howard, that he was going to be the flower of life, per se, bearer of Christ consciousness. He was going to bring Christ consciousness to all the other people that are asleep in this realm. And that Terrence Howard, this is what this woman's going to declare in this video if you want to go watch it, that Terrence Howard is one small minute piece away from unlocking the flower of life. And I guess when you unlock that flower in the manner that he has tried to do with tangential flight and his linchpin, well, allegedly, from what this woman's saying, is Christ consciousness would be waved or poured out all over our realm. I like her verbiage when she's speaking about us being the fractal soul or the fractal reincarnations of someone in the past. She's declaring that Terrence Howard is the fractal reincarnation of Saul, which there's, I kind of believe that, because this ain't our first time here, and we are received into this body through our crown of thorns. But go watch this video. It's right here on Ascension Tools. That's the name of this creator for this video. But I do like what she's talking about, the fractal reincarnation of Saul. And you ever hear Terrence Howard's story and how he was told all these things on how to unlock the flower of life? Well, I keep trying to tell y'all, this ain't y'all first time here. I keep trying to tell you what the moonlight is trying to do to us. And y'all even hear a hot mic pickup about the queen and how her death is irreversible. Why do you think that is? And why do you think that is that they're all born during lunar eclipses? There's a lot of truth in plain sight happening. And in this video, she said there's never been a better time than now that we could have disclosure. Ascension is happening, guys, and no one's ever explained what ascension really means, because I think half the people on here do not know. They're just repeating information and posing to be teachers, but they're really students. And then you start getting into this black hole sun, you know, Mason cosmology, and then you start understanding why CERN's doing what they're doing, and things are going to start adding up, and you're going to see people to try to proclaim this information as their own, like they've discovered. But a lot of people are really confused by this light button, and they're not really seeking, they're just making video. Be seekers of information.
It's because I'm one of the coldest niggas that ever lived.
Talk the talk.
That will ever live. Even long after me, after I'm gone. It's still gonna be a wind chill in my absence because I'm so fucking cold.
God damn.
Stop.
I love it.
Someone needs to explain this to me right now, because I don't know what fucking chemicals are in these cats.
It's a parasite. So there's a parasite that comes from cat shit, cat poop, right? It's called Toxoplasmosis. You get infected with it. It's called Toxoplasmosis. Here's the crazy part. That parasite, that infection, it makes you give irrational affection to the cat. It makes you stop fearing the cat. It makes you constantly want to cater to the cat, right? The reason why cats have this in the wild, they catch their prey with it, right? So their prey, when they get infected by this parasite, they lose their natural fear of cats, so they're easier to hunt. So a mouse infected with this will come and try to go squeak, squeak, play up on the cat, and the cat goes, hum, nice liver cat. You know what I mean? Eats it. You're infected. You're a victim. What's even crazier is, if you're a pregnant woman, you're not even allowed to change cat litter, because that parasite can infect your baby. Now, a baby, you know, is developing in the womb, chilling, gets infected. A major one being that it can impede the development of a properly functioning brain in that baby. Meow.
Now that's crazy. Now it makes sense, y'all. It makes sense. You know when something just comes full circle for you? Remember the song, Why Must I Chase the Cat? Remember the old school songs when they was talking about getting the sugar walls? Remember have your parents ever told you about women making spaghetti? I don't even want to talk about this no more. I'm going to keep going. If you're tracking, you're tracking. Oh, shit. Why must I chase the cat? We know why now.
我们的机器人员工已经开始量产了。
These are going to be your waitresses and your servers.
这个呢，我觉得更有亲切。
I'm not gonna lie though, the robot, hey, she is looking real thick though. Oh, I can see this going real bad. Oh man.
我们的机器人员工已经开始量产了。
Remain concealed from the guests. Every audience member is assured a clear, unblemished auditory experience. Our team of engineers have constructed beings that evenly...
Genetics. We don't know absolutely nothing.
I could see that going wrong. People, you know, I could see dudes going to a robotic strip club though. I really could. I see that being a thing in the next 25 years.
And because of that, our ignorance, a lot of different things we thought is literally away from us, or thinking it's totally different from us, when in reality, nothing is different from us. So what you see here, this is also a version of ourselves, okay? This is a version of ourselves. They are not from different planets. These so-called versions, I don't call them entities. These are human versions. They exist right here on Earth, okay? They are in a different continent. They are in and out of here. And a lot of them is even close by, walking by you, you would not be able to pick it up because they are in a higher frequency. So your eyes cannot catch them up. You cannot catch the vibration of these entities. They are not aliens. They are not what you think they are. And I don't even want to call them reptilian, because what you call reptilian is another form of saying they are different than you, but in reality they are not different than you. This is an evolutionary state of you. They evolved past the human body. Okay, we've been supposed to kind of even look like this by now, or even to a different form. This form that we have, this is literally the second. We've been stuck on third form. We're in third form. Now let me explain the form to you. We went from a snake, what you call your sperm. The sperm is a snake. You went from a tadpole inside of the embryo, and then you become a human. You either become a man or a female. So these are the third levels. From a tadpole, from a little sperm bank level, when you're looking at the little sperm moving, and then they turn to a human. You either be a female or a male. So these are the third, what you call 3 dimensions. That is the third dimensional frequency. So we've been stuck in 3D. That is the 3D. That's the third, what you call level. Shout out to you, third eye. So we've been stuck on our form 3. So we on form 3, and we've been stuck ever since on form 3. So now these entities, since I want to use this word because it's easier for you to digest, they evolved past the third form. So now they on form 4 or form 5. But now since we're not educated, we don't know anything. We just
Dude, so many people are pulled over right now to look at that freaking moon. Why is it so close to the Earth?
Look at that.
What is happening right now? That girl doesn't... Look, why is the moon so close to the Earth?
You guys, I just watched this movie and it's so good.
You will be done.
Watch.
There will be darkness.
In peace?
There will be darkness.
You know what? No.
There is nowhere else for you to be.
Well, I'm not getting in there. I want to go back.
Already your flesh has been moved. Has been cut by the doctors who inspected your organs. Already your loved ones have selected for you the clothes to shroud your decomposition.
She died.
Already you are in the ground. Tears have fallen for you.
Do I have a say in this?
Death is not a debate. How many do you think have come before you? All with promises and threats and offers of glory, gold, love. Who are you to misguide me from my duty? You are but a man, not even one I should remember. You will go into the darkness, and I will forget ever having met you.
Well, watch what's going to happen, you guys.
Fuck you.
Whoa. You guys need to watch this movie. It's so good. Go watch it, guys. It's crazy.
It's not a movie. TV series. American.
Okay, is we voting Trump or is we voting for Kamala? Cause it seems like this election is just filled with too much drama. Kamala had Megan Thee Stallion twerking at a rally. I don't know who's gonna win. I hope this shit do not end badly. Trump did a lot for the black community. I don't know what Biden did. Damn, did he do anything? If he did, please go write them down in the comments. Then we will know the intentions of Vice President Kamala. I hope Trump really make America great again. Cause I'm really trying to see the gas prices low again. Trump also said that he finna keep TikTok. Let me put my vote in cause now he talking my type of talk. If you team Trump, comment Trump. Let your Trumpers roll. You Democratic, comment team Kamala. Tally up the score. Blue be red like Spider-Man. Who gon' say the USA? I don't know and I don't care. I'm just looking for Mary Jane. I just hope lockdown don't happen again. I just want inflation to go down and money coming in. If you never vote, just say fuck it and just vote. Because we did die for that shit, that's who we doing this shit for. I just want to see my people rise, can we come together? You only got one choice, who is going to save America? Or should we just pack up and leave the country? I don't know, cause we did build a shit, is we gonna let it crumble?
Get your ass in here and sit down. There's something real strange going on this app. And I don't know if I should bring it to y'all's attention, but something inside me said go ahead and I don't know how y'all gonna take this shit. There are real live ETs on this app. They not hiding no more. They are interacting with these ugly ass trolls. And not the ones in the comment section. But just hold on, cause y'all they coming. But the trolls I'm speaking on are grotesque monsters. They can be the size of a human, they can be the size of a gnome, or they can be the size of a mountain.
Yeah.
They are very ugly with very large noses and huge eyes. And hell, some of them even had multiple heads. Imagine that. It is believed that they have an aversion to bells. Can't stand the sound of a ringing Christian bell. And are angered, completely angered by the smell of Christian blood. Christians can't catch a break. I swear they can't catch a break. Humans are their number one enemy and will turn a stone if exposed to sunlight. Oh, but they do have a weakness now. Everybody got a weakness. A troll's weakness is when his body gets pierced. So it is said that your best line of defense when fighting trolls is a bow and arrow. When the shit hits the fan, will you be ready?
I want y'all to stop sleeping on these beds and couches, because it's not natural. Sleep outside. And if you sleep outside by your car, the energy from your body will fill your gas tank up. It's called a gaseolysis transfer. Don't go try to look it up neither. I know y'all have heard this plenty of times before, but stop eating meat. Especially hot wings. Unless you dip it in ranch. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but we are not supposed to be brushing our teeth. Our teeth are not supposed to be white. So stop going to the grocery store and buying butter when it's growing in your teeth for free. You're wasting your time and your money. Time is not real. As a matter of fact, nobody actually knows what year it is. Which means you really don't know your real age. Say, my boy. Who, me?
Yeah, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 32.
Can you prove that? How you know you ain't 16?
Something just isn't right about the sun anymore.
Well, let me show you something here about authenticity. And you guys tell me what you think about this. Can you see those sunflowers? Sunflowers have a thing called heliotropism. They face the sun and curve their face towards the sun every day, all day, every hour to absorb the sun. Can you see there?
Facing away.
Yeah. Yeah, they got their face turned away from the sun here. Now, if you look up over through there, you can see the beans and the corn and all that kind of stuff. And they don't have much choice. It's either grow straight up or fall down. But these sunflowers have a completely different mechanism. And for some reason, they don't like the sun. Now, I don't know what's causing that, but I'm inclined to say that the very people that took down my videos also might be responsible for this. I don't know that to be the truth, and I have no one to point a finger at. But I do know that these sunflowers are not facing the right direction. This is a farm boy. Let me know what you think about that.
Hey, well, I mean, really do think about this, though. We are at solar maximum right now, y'all. And the sun, when we were growing up, we all know that we used to draw it to be yellow, orange, with the orange's halo. Y'all get what I'm saying. But now it's flat white, right? And you can actually, I stared at it. It's flat white. So things are changing. It's a lot of things that I don't know. I can read it, I can see what they're saying, and I can interpret it into my own fashion of like what's going on. But y'all let me know in the comments down below what's going on. We are getting those CMEs from the sun. We've been getting hit with M-class solar flares, and it's just going to ramp up for the next, couple years. 2025, 26 is going to happen for a couple years. What is happening? Because one thing we do know about the particles that are coming from the sun, it is changing our genetics as we speak, people. Let me know in the comments what you think we're turning into. Niggas getting superpowers, or we're going to turn into lizards. I don't know. We're going to F around and find out, though. Let's get back to the video.
Genetically modified mosquitoes have gotten the green light to be released in America. They say these mosquitoes, they don't bite people, they just mate with the females, and they're modified so that the offspring die off. The lethality gene they put in, it actually doesn't kill all the mosquitoes. It only kills the females. The males go on living. In other words, the GMO mosquitoes do bite humans. Some of the programs are about using the mosquitoes for other things, like vaccinating people against their will. In September 2022, NPR declared that the researchers had successfully vaccinated people using these GMO mosquitoes. One of the lead scientists on the program told the publication that we use the mosquitoes like they're 1,000 small flying syringes. Well, look, what's the big concern here? Well, partially true narratives are being used to roll out a program to release GMO insects. The program does not have a lasting effect. And even beyond that, the programs are linked to others that could be used to involuntarily vaccinate people.
That shit is so disrespectful. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. That's so disrespectful, bro. Like that.
Of something. The earliest pictures we have of like these big cities are like from like the 1850s, and they're these massive cities, and they look very similar than they do today. Actually, except for more grain looking, massive buildings, and there's like hardly any people out on the streets, like nobody. And sometimes, in many cases, it looks like muddy streets, and it's like, okay, so where are all the people at? It's very odd to have a giant city like that with no people. And then when you start to see people later, in like sometimes you have these early videos of like these cities like Paris and London, and all of the people are dressed really nice, like dressed to the nines, like aristocrat looking people. And then you're like, there's just something so off about this. Like I can't really kind of put my finger on it, but something's really off. And then you start to see the orphan train thing, and you're like, okay, so wait a minute, these things have to be related. And that's why I started to make the connections, like, wait a minute, the people who are dressed like that were not working in factories, right? They weren't working in fields, they weren't working in factories. These people look very rich. So maybe the pictures with nobody in them in these big cities, maybe the orphan trains were related to the fact that they needed people to go work in the factories. And then if you go look in more old pictures, kids working in factories, kids working in fields, kids doing all these random jobs. And then you see the insane asylums. Okay, so between like 1860 and 1929 in America, there's 250,000 kids on orphan trains. Again, the population is much bigger now. That number is huge now. It's way bigger then. And then there was 150,000 people in insane asylums. Okay, so the math actually makes sense, like that, were these the parents of these kids? And then the kids get shipped all around the world, all around the country, at least here. And I know it was a worldwide thing. And then you see like the things. So there's like 0 insane asylums now. There was like 1,500 of them in like 1900. There's like 0 orphanages now. Like all these things that are just, they don't have them anymore. And if you go look at the buildings that were prisons, orphanages, and insane asylums, and they're all these massive castle-style looking buildings. You ever notice that? Yeah. It seems very clear that, to me at this point, that those built. And if you go look at the buildings that were prisons, orphanages, and insane asylums, and they're all these massive castle-style looking buildings. You ever notice that? Yeah. It seems very clear that, to me at this point, that those buildings were repurposed. Because you would not build a castle and then turn it into a prison. You would not build a castle and then turn it into a insane asylum or an orphanage. Because they don't look like that. Like, why would you spend that much money doing that unless it was already there and they needed use for it, and that's what they chose to use it for? If you believe kind of the mud flood story, and even if you don't believe, if you're not a Christian, you don't believe in the whole little season idea, you have to believe that the controllers, or whoever you want to call them, literally burned cities down, murdered people, threw people into insane asylums to hide stuff. They literally burn down the best buildings you've ever seen, that we've never seen, I guess now. You know, the best buildings ever created in order to hide something. So what could they be hiding? I think what seems very clear and obvious, it's something you could not even imagine. Like, it's bigger than you could even imagine. Because that's the only reason people would do that, right? Am I wrong? I mean, like, you're talking about a worldwide thing that this happened in order to cover up something. And the history books don't write about the reason for all the mud. They don't write about all this stuff.
Yeah, there's nothing deeper. This is like the very bottom of the rabbit hole. There is nothing deeper than Little Caesar, than what happened in the 1800s and 90s. There's nothing deeper than this, because this explains everything.
I was talking about a certain video on live. To all the people I was talking about this video, watch this video. You're going to be intrigued. I'm not going to play from the beginning when we talk about soul, but I'm going to play from the part where you're going to know what he's talking about, and then I'm going to incorporate a little theology.
We're in a holographic universe. Holographic universe means that our flat Earth is a crystal, and the sun and the moon are these lasers that shoot down onto it. So the first one shoots your consciousness, the sun shoots your consciousness, and then the moon, the rays of it shoot your subconscious. All the other stars that are out in there, they're the projections of everything else around you. If you ever seen a Xbox Kinect? Do you know how it works? Well, what it does is it shoots out millions, like 3 million points of laser lights. So when it hits you, it's kind of like, you know, those old things you'd be able to stick your hand in and make your imprint. Mm-hmm. It does that to your body, but that's exactly what the fucking stars are.
I think that the stars are our consciousness beaming down.
It's all our consciousness, because we're perceiving what we think and it's shooting it down. If you look up the two-slit experiment, it's quantum physics, where by shooting these photon lights through a board with two slats in it. First time they did it, there was no pattern. You would think that on the other side of the wall it would just be two slits. Well, it was just spread out. So when they brought in, they couldn't figure out why it was doing this, because it should just be two slits. Well, they brought in a camera to watch it, and when they brought in the camera to watch it, it changed and started doing something different. So then it made an interference pattern. So as long as there's an observer, you're going to get stuck. And I believe that the observer is the moon. It's the camera that's watching us.
Stuck in singularity.
If you look, the quantum physicists a couple months back started telling everybody that the reason we have reality is because we're stuck in the center of black hole and singularity. For years I was saying we're flying through a black hole. And once you get to the middle, that's why we have gravity. That's why you can touch anything you want.
Right.
Because all that pressure is coming to that one fucking hole of everything. Pushed down. So then sooner or later we're just going to go to the other side.
And that's called ascension. Are we being squeezed through a black hole? And you guys all know this picture, and this is a flat earth map. And is that the black hole, or the black hole sun that is being perpetuated and shot it up to the firmament dome, which gives us stars? And doesn't the North Pole have a black hole at it, and that's why we can't go there? This hasn't even been confirmed by NASA, which is that picture right there of the North Pole in a hole, which projects that black hole. Are we being squeezed through it? Because then CERN would start making a lot more sense. What are they doing? Smashing particles together to create a black hole? Is it to counteract what's us ascending and getting squeezed as an opposite force?
One thing we do know, something big is happening. People, let me know in the comments down below. That is very, very, very interesting. That's like one of my first times seeing like that broken down in that way. Just let me know if it resonated with you in certain areas, and do you have something to add to the conversation? But very interesting.
What's up, everyone? Let's talk about the Hearth book. This is your electromagnetic field around your body. You have a north and south pole separated by a plane of inertia. This Earth is the plane of inertia, planet Earth, plane of inertia. It's basically what separates the north and south pole. It's called the block wall. It's also called the accretion disk, the inertial plane. The inner volume of every atom is magnetodielectricity, which is magnetism and dielectricity. Magnetism, the creator of space, it creates magnitude, it's motion. Mag means to move in Sanskrit. Dielectricity is not regular electricity, it's invisible, and it's the eraser of space. It's called counter space. It's the area where the attracting force goes to. What's attracting? It's energy being sucked back into the center. So it goes out of the top into the bottom to the center, from the center out the bottom into the top back to the center. This is the zero pressure zone, and from there you get high pressure, which is the repelling force out of the top and bottom. The energy swirls out of the top into the bottom and swirls out of the bottom into the top. So when you look at your head from the top, you have a cowlick, and that's the spiral. This is the bottom of a pine cone. It's like this, bottom of a pine cone, or the face of a sunflower. That's just a succulent. But basically, there's a cowlick at the top of your head. You can see it. So this is the basics of magnetism, and it has to do with spirituality. What's your spirit? It's the spiraling force around you. Whether you're in high spirits, which is love and joy, then you have a strong magnanimous field. But if you're in low spirits and you're angry or sad or guilty, shameful, desiring, then you have a weak magnetic field. You want to create an intensified aura, magnanimous field, and you become one with the earth. And the whole earth's field is your field. So now you become all-knowing and all-aware, peak awareness, because anything that's in your field, you don't have to see with your eyes. You can feel with your field, okay? Basically, we become one, and it's the collective consciousness, and this is what the government doesn't want. They don't want us to connect naturally. They want us to connect artificially with Neuralink. Think about Elon Musk. So we're all to be integrated in the near future because we've been separated. The Tower of Babel, where all humans come together to build a tower to get to heaven, but then God messed up the tower and separated the languages, and now we have 7 continents. It should be one continent. Instead of 7 oceans, there should be one ocean. It's Atlantis, island of the Atlas, and it's the Atlantic Ocean. It's just you. All human beings are actually one soul, and you and the earth are one. The universe is one verse. It's one song, it's one resonance, one heartbeat. Thanks, everyone. Go buy the Hearth book.
And when you think about that, you got to think, if they want you to get Neuralinked, let me know if y'all get Neuralinked. If you're getting that Neuralink, it's artificial, right? That's another form on which, it's a program in which somebody is on the other side of that, and you can be controlled. You know that, right? But if you connect naturally, with the creator and the source, whatever you want to call it, with our collective consciousness, that's organic, and you will not be controlled by something outside of the original peoples, which is us. But let's keep going. That's crazy. I'm not getting no Neuralink.
Evening, folks. We had mentioned this morning that we were going to be looking for NOAA to add the 3rd CME from the next class solar flare, to their CME endless spiral model. They have finally done so. You can see the 3 eruptions here and when they are expected to impact. The first one, according to their model, should be about any time now. It is just before 2200 UTC. That's approaching 4 o'clock here in Colorado Springs, approaching 6 p.m. on the East Coast. We will see what happens over the next day and a half to 2 days as these 3 CMEs impact. Geomagnetic storms, highly likely. See you in the morning for the Daily Show. Be safe, everyone.
And these just happened. They're continuing to happen. I can show you every day of an updated one. Just know it's happening.
Good morning, folks. We're going to be pretty focused on space weather today. We will make a quick seismic note at the end as we investigate a new topic, but the big story is yesterday's X-class solar flare releasing the 3rd Earth-directed CME. Let's go ahead and check out the last 24 hours on our star, where we find the only significant event was a flash at the large sunspot group that is just past center disk. It may not have been significantly long duration, but it did release a CME. The 3rd one we'll expect to impact over the coming days. Solar wind right now is fairly calm and steady, but that probably will not be the case by the time we see each other again. NOAA has added the 2nd CME we discussed yesterday to their endless spiral, and they are supposed to impact tonight and tomorrow. I think the spread on those may be a bit high in the model, but alas, both are coming. And then, we had the 3rd one. Here's the X-class solar flare from yesterday afternoon. Not directly center disk, but close enough that its eruption caused a full halo CME on SOHO. Not tremendously dense, but a halo event nonetheless. NASA's Endless Spiral has this one on it and forecasts an impact late on Sunday, so that makes 3 small but directly Earth-facing CMEs expected this weekend. In addition to watching for those impacts beginning as early as a few hours from now, we'll be keeping watch for more flares. Still no shortage of sunspots, and we can tell there may be one more coming over the limb on the south. We are all eyes open on space weather. Lastly, folks, jumping back to the magnitude 7.1 earthquake near Japan we shared yesterday, the red lines to the south of it outline what's known as the Philippine Plate. There were several commenters yesterday who suggested the 7.1 was the first thrust event on that plate, which could signal the plate is trying to break free and shift. That would be very bad. Yeah. I'll be trying to check the beach ball data for past quakes to confirm that claim, while also constantly watching the seismic activity around it as well. One more thing to track. We greatly appreciate your support. Solar impacts are on their way. We'll do this all again tomorrow, right here, right now at 6 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open, no fear. Be safe, everyone.
Right, and like we keep saying, there's no reason for you guys to be afraid of this type of, solar activity, because one thing we can't do is stop what's happening. You feel me? So all we can do is sit here, and prepare ourselves for anything, and not be afraid, because at the end of the day, we're gonna have to step up to the plate and, do what we gotta do, no matter what happens. But yeah, I do these because I want y'all to know what's happening outside of the daily regular news, outside of, people that try to step into this type of content, but they don't know anything about solar weather and stuff like that, the solar activity. I've been educating myself. I've been trying to give y'all the best version of myself as best as possible. Hopefully, y'all picking something up from that and learning with me too as well on this journey. And I appreciate y'all.
Weekend for astronomical events. We have the Perseids, we have a possible Aurora. There's so much going on. I'm meteorologist Todd Gross. Let me tell you what it is. First of all, last weekend there was an Aurora seen in the northern U.S. and southern Canada. If you missed it, you've got another chance. Of course, this weekend is the 9th, 10th, 11th, and that is going to be very exciting, first of all, because on Friday night, starting out the weekend, kicking it off, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is saying that we are going to have a geomagnetic storm, a G2 as a matter of fact, as some plasma from the sun that shot out a few days ago is going to hit Earth on Friday night. And they're saying that the view line will be down to right around here, this red line that you see that extends from Boston to Buffalo to Chicago, and then out across the border of Nebraska and South Dakota and across Idaho, northern Wyoming, and the border between Oregon and Washington. And of course, points north into the provinces of Canada and including Alaska, which is dark enough now late at night to see these things. Now, of course, this is best the farther north you are, but last weekend, folks saw it all the way down to the Rockies and Northern California, and that was with cameras or iPhones or Androids, a 10-second exposure, looking to the north in truly dark skies. And that's what I suggest you try to do again tomorrow night, Friday night, if you are clear. Now, the good news is they're doing it again on Saturday night. There's another chance of an Aurora Saturday night as well. And that would likely lead to a very similar view line that we just talked about for Friday night. And then Sunday night is the Perseid meteor shower. Late night, anytime after 11 or 12, you'd go out in dark skies, and it doesn't have to be quite as dark as it does to see the aurora. You could go into skies that are suburban, dark suburban skies, not just rural skies, although the darker the better. And you just kind of lay out and relax and look high to the north or the northeast. First it's to the northeast, like 11, 12, 1, and then it's to the north when you get beyond 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and then, of course, until it gets light. And you'll want to bring somebody with you, a loved one or somebody, a friend, and you'll look at different parts of the sky and kind of notice when the shooting stars occur. They'll be radiating out of the constellation Perseus, and it's just going to be a blast. That's coming up Sunday night. I'll do a separate report on that. I already did, but I'll do another one and remind you as we get closer to it. So, big weekend, 3 nights of astronomical events. I hope you enjoy. And of course, follow me if you want to know and are alerted to when I come out with these special reports for you.
Have anybody noticed that in the last 48 hours, it's been very quiet on the planet? And this is why. Our sun is very active right now, dispersing a large amount of energy. This is highly intense charged ions and powerful solar energy. And this energy is increasing the vibration on the planet. So when we shift in frequency, you have to elevate with this energy, or you will be left behind. We have to detach from this matrix, family. It's very critical and important that you tap into your higher self, your higher states of consciousness. The X-class solar flare will be the largest eruption from the sun. But here lately, we have been having M-class solar flares. But these solar flares is starting to change. They don't just erupt anymore. These sunspots will stay open, spewing out energy.
Yep.
Usually, this blast will happen in the snap of a finger. But here lately, these eruptions been lasting for a long period of time. This energy is here for us. It's time to take the power back, family. You are that ancient God that they said will return during the end times.
And you got to think too, what gamma radiation, what it's been showing you on the is green, right? The same shit that happened to the Incredible Hulk and what changed his DNA and turned him up. But look, we gonna keep building. It's crazy. We don't know nothing about too much. Us regular people don't know too much about like the gamma radiation and stuff. But you know, I see this that red mercury. You got to think we don't know everything about these chemical compounds and these radiations and stuff. And that gives you a pure example of like the ignorance of us and what we don't know. I'm not an expert on these things, but I can say is think about it. Anything is possible. You seen that shit change that water into red, right? So with these particles coming into this planet, we don't have to visually see. We can't see inside of our body just looking at ourselves. We don't know what's going on in there. And if y'all look it up, I really want y'all to look it up. It's interesting. And let me know what y'all find about what's happening to us. currently.
Into that cloud.
Look, look. Okay, so look, listen to me. I'm sitting in my house, right? You see me make a video of somebody or something in the sun. It's a clear day.
Oh, see it! It is so pretty.
I remind you all, right? Don't keep too much of meditation on what's going on up there. You just take a peek. I'm sorry.
You get the
Go up to pray then. Too late to pray. Just a second, please. Once the map forms, it's too late to pray. That's the end of everything. As I said before, inside. That's the end. You ain't got no chance more to get nothing right.
Yeah, if you came into that cloud.
Look, look. Look on his phone. Look. Look on his phone. Look.
I see it. You gotta put the glasses back on there.
Look. Oh, it's bright now.
It's bright now. I'm seeing it. It's a serious sign, brother. This is serious.
You gotta full entire.
Yeah, if you came to that.
Cap. That's absolutely fake. Y'all know that it has to be fake. Don't believe that video for 1 second. It is a lot of things that's going on with our son, but that shit right there ain't it. We gotta be realistic, y'all. If that shit would have popped out from behind the suns with the big ass eyeball and shit like that, but we would have all been in the goddamn house. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna be outside just out here willy dilly recording this thing like that. These people would have been screaming, and they was black, so-called people that look like me. That's not how we react. If we would have seen that, we the fuck in the house, calling everybody.
Do you remember when Queen Elizabeth died and they broke her wand ceremoniously in the funeral and they laid it on top of her coffin? What many don't know is that there's leaked audio or
I don't know. I didn't watch it. It's not something that I would watch.
audio that came out while they were taking her body to there, and there was a mic or something on that caught feedback or caught somebody else speaking, not just the British commentators, and it said her death was irreversible. She's trapped. And I'm going to show you that audio right now. Now, if you noticed, The guy who was speaking, he was gonna speak, and then he heard that other person speak, and he stopped. And after that other person realized that they were live on mic, they stopped. And then a few seconds later, he speaks. And nobody really knows what that means. I'm not making this up. You can go find that audio. It's still available out there. It's publicly available. And this is just the opinions of a content creator discussing with other content creators what they might think. I have no idea if this is real or not. But as an opinion, a walking opinion that I'm just throwing out there, there's a lot of rituals and ceremonies that are produced. And when they say her death is irreversible, she's trapped, I'm just throwing an opinion out there that can mean that the body's done and that her spirit, her soul is trapped wherever she is. They're able to transfer consciousness. Transhumanism is huge. It's a big thing that they're trying to, the elites, the people, the 1%er are trying to push forward. An ability to eliminate death so they can transfer their mind and consciousness in either a younger body or something more rejuvenated, a machine, an android, a cyborg, whatever have you. Unfortunately, they got caught on the hot mic saying these things, and people that know, if you know, you know more or less what they're talking about. But again, this is just an opinion for entertainment purposes. I'm really interested to think what you guys think about this whole thing.
Your opinion about me is not needed. Not needed.
The Firmament compilation. Look at this shit, y'all. They told us in the movie Shazam, and I ain't even peep. Firmament. Commercial that represented the Simpsons. As above, so below with the water, y'all. The water's above. Now, I know we've seen this, but y'all gotta see this compilation. Look at that. Water's above, y'all. Did you see that he's trying to blow up the firmament? Y'all all remember the August Picard video. The Hennessy commercial. Firmament. The water's above. Y'all remember that? The cartoon, John? Yeah, they really was telling us that we lived in the firmament the whole time. Interesting. You already know King Kong told us, though. Look at this. The Hunger Games. Oh my God!
Get in this house right now. Get in this house right now. Get in this house right now.
that slowing down didn't make it any better for me. I'm still confused. I'm trying to figure out if this shit real now. I say no, but look real. Like, I don't know. Y'all let me know.
I could make a sperm out of your skin cells and an egg and fertilize that. So you can clone me? I could clone you. I won't do that because it's illegal, but biologically we could do that. I can make organs, mini organs from you and test drugs. What we're doing in the lab is we have... Yeah. Personalized medicine. When you come to my lab and you have to promise you're going to come, I'll show you we grow these mini brains in the lab. And we've got them from people that are predisposed to Alzheimer's or not. And we have a way to age those brains so that they're now 80 years old, even though they're only a few months old. And they lose their ability to fire electrically. They become demented in the dish, little mini brains. On Instagram, I've shown some photos of these. They're pretty cute. And so we give them Alzheimer's and dementia in the dish. And then what we do is we have a system to turn on those 3 embryonic genes, OS and K, and those brains go back in age. But here's the cool thing. Alzheimer's goes away, the electrical activity comes back. Now we do this in a mouse. We make the mouse older, just let them age out, or we accelerate it, and we've been now reversing the age of those brains in the mice, and you can guess what happens. They get their memory, ability to learn back.
Unbelievable. Do you hear what you're saying?
Do y'all believe him? We know the cloning shit is real. That's a fact. It's a 100% fact. But they say it's illegal, but do you think they give a fuck? Just like the government was caught trafficking children with taxpayer money, and nobody cares. Wow.
This kind of stuff right here. This kind of stuff right here is why I don't play around in the water. Look at this thing.
Me neither, bro. I don't play in that water either.
Look at this damn thing. This is why I don't play around in the water.
Nope.
I don't do it. No, this kind of stuff right here. This kind of stuff right here is why I don't play around in the water. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Look at this damn thing. This
not because we can't swim.
I don't do it.
Because that shit swim better.
This kind of stuff right here is why I don't play around in the water. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Look at this damn thing. This is why I don't play around in the water. I don't do it. No, this kind of stuff right here. This kind of stuff right here is why I don't play around in the water. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Look at this damn thing.
A couple times so y'all can see.
Around in the water. I don't do it. No, this kind of stuff right here. This kind of stuff right here is why.
God. So it's God's Son. The Son work. Jesus is a metaphor for the Son. And so boiling it down, Christianity is sun worship based on astrology, because nobody owns the sun. So obviously the sun belongs to God. So it's God's Son, and He's the light of the world. Of course the sun's the light of the world. What else lights the world if it's not the sun? And He has 12 helpers. Of course, the 12 signs of the zodiac, the 12 months of the year. He is our risen Savior. Of course, it rises every morning about 5:30. And the sun is your Savior. If it don't come up, we're dead. So once you start breaking down the symbols in the Old and the New Testament, you begin to see that Christianity is basically astrology and sun worship. But it has been so well hidden and so cleverly disguised. And once you start breaking it down and reading the whole story, it becomes overwhelmingly obvious. This is what we're talking about. He has a virgin birth. He's born of a virgin, of course. Virgin birth because one of the constellations of the zodiac is Virgo, Virgo the Virgin. This is why Judas gives Jesus the kiss of death, because Judas represents Scorpio, and Scorpio gives the God's Son, the light of the world, the kiss of death.
Woo! What an amazing video, and I feel good to be back. This is not my clone right here. You know, this is me, people. So stop all your goddamn rumors and stuff like that. You know, this ain't the fat Gucci, skinny Gucci situation. You know, I'm here in the flesh. I'm still me. We've been handling business. One thing I do have to say, though, to clear up some things is as well, I'm very disappointed in my last giveaway. I still haven't given the people the money. The reasons why is when I did the drawing, there were 3 winners, right? There were 3 winners, right? When I checked my email, there were hundreds of emails now claiming that they were the prize winners, and that is disgusting. So now I have to really like figure out who the winners are, and I know amongst those hundreds, 3 people won. So that's what it's taking, and it's frustrating, but you know, we can't sit here and gloat and complain about things. I have to come up with a new solution to fix the problem, but I got y'all. But look, man, I see y'all in the next video. Make sure y'all got y'all notifications on, because you know, y'all can get these videos as soon as I drop them. I will be dropping prizes in individual videos too as well, so y'all can get those, you know, just to make this process a little bit easier. I'm just gonna do a drawing, and then in that video, well, I ain't gonna give all that away because y'all motherfuckers be scammers out here. Let me stop and shut up. Let me shut your mouth, Dre. All right, but look, I'll see you on the next video. Like I always say, spread love because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys. See you on the next one. And I'm out though. Bye.